The third and the seventh row of the lesson plan template are very similar. The first is reviewing a previously learned concept, and the seventh is introducing a new concept. Both of these rows are based on specific worksheets, so the work here is pretty much done for you. If your child is able to read the learning box, definitely let him. The learning box at the top of most worksheets is critical. This lists the objectives you will be covering with your student. Be careful not to have your student simply read through them quickly. Discuss each one thoroughly until you are sure he completely understands them. Then, turn the bullet points into questions. In this case, you could ask, how do you write the J sound after one short vowel in a one-syllable word? Or, when do you use DGE in a word? As you're working through the worksheet, refer to specific bullet points in the learning box whenever your student gets stuck. In this example, you would want to guide the student back to the first bullet point to spell DGE correctly. The first thing to do in your lesson plan in this row is what you're going to teach through this worksheet. The bullet points in the learning box will help you here. If you have any additional multi-sensory activities you could incorporate, you could list them here. For example, if you're working on a sound that your child struggles with, this would be the place to use a mirror so your student can see the shape of his mouth and position of his tongue as he makes the sound. Or he can use his hands to feel it. Or you may want to incorporate finger spelling. There are several ways to do this, and you'll need to model it for him. Start by touching the thumb of your index or pointer finger for the first sound. Then move your thumb to the middle finger for the next sound, then the ring finger, and so on. If this requires too much fine motor dexterity for your child, try using your arm instead. For the first sound, touch your hand to your shoulder. For the second sound, move it to your bicep. Third sound, elbow, and so on. The advantage of this kind of kinesthetic spelling is that you can slide your hand down your arm as you blend the sounds to form a word. The reading section is right from the worksheet. If he reads a word incorrectly, refer him back to whatever bullet point will help him out. If he says bridgy instead of bridge, refer him back to the first bullet point and ask, what sound does DGE make? Then when the reading is done, start dictation. Back on your lesson plan, this is where to write the words you're going to dictate. He can then write those words on the handwriting lines on the worksheet. Be sure he sounds them out as he writes. This is critical because it's the audio pathway to the brain. So anytime he's writing a green word, he should be speaking and writing simultaneously. In this example, he would speak and write B, A, J. That's only 3 sounds, but 5 letters. Ask, how many sounds are there? How many letters did it take to make those sounds? At the bottom of the worksheet is often a question or two reinforcing the concepts listed in the learning box. Try covering up the learning box with your hand or piece of paper while your child answers them. If he needs to look at the learning box to get the answers, you know you will need to review this concept again.